Hi, this is Dr. Cooper, and this is a podcast for the ENG102 Freshman Composition course. This is the Week 6 weekly podcast. Wow, I can't believe it's Week 6 already. Anyway, I hope you all enjoyed your day off yesterday. It was Monday, President's Day. I'm sure, though, if you had time off from work or school, that you probably were spending time doing your homework, but that's okay. As long as it gets done, you will be done with this class before you know it. So we are working on assignment number 6 this week. We're in week 6. I think it's assignment number 6. Let me get over there and look. But anyway, just to sort of put it all into perspective, we only have 10 assignments. 10, that's it. So that means that by being on assignment number 6, it means we only have 4 more after this one. Or we're halfway there if you haven't started it yet. You have 5 more. So assignment number 6 is asking that we continue our research, and we are going to focus on periodical articles. Now, this is my favorite assignment only because periodical articles and databases are very important. I created a new lesson for you. This is a new one. It's called What are Periodicals and How to Search a Database to Find Them. And it gives you some important information that you need to know about periodicals and about databases, so make sure that you watch that video. But this assignment will probably be the most important one because you will find the sources that will be most valuable for your paper. Now, keep in mind that for your final paper, you will need to include the research that you are locating now. It doesn't mean that you have to use all of it, but it has to be included. So when you write your final paper, you can't just write a paper that uses a whole bunch of new research and use nothing that you've done during this process. So keep in mind that you are looking for stuff to use in the paper. Not everything has to be used, but some of it does. So that's always important because a lot of students don't realize that we are following along in the steps to create a project. So each step, starting with 3, assignment number 3, guides us to the final product. Okay, so periodicals are going to be important because not only for this assignment, but it is where you're going to find the scholarly research that you need for an academic paper. Now, you've seen the videos that I've left for you, or if you haven't, make sure you watch them. The videos talking about Google and why Google isn't the best thing, to use for a scholarly research paper. So watch the videos to get a good understanding of that, and then embrace databases and periodicals. Okay? Because they are your friend and they will make you a superstar when it comes to writing your paper. All right, the other key thing about this week is argumentation. Now, I've assigned 2 chapters for you to read, chapter 10 and chapter 23. And hopefully you are reading those and taking notes because the quiz, again, will be similar to the one we just had where you are applying your knowledge of the information that you would have or that you should have learned by reading. And not just, some multiple choice, fill in the blank, random stuff that I'm quizzing you on. I really want to see application of these skills, so that's why we're using the quizzes in Connect. Some of you like them, some of you don't like them, but most of you didn't get off to a good start with that first quiz. So getting off topic here, but make sure you go back and do the Chapter 21 practice that I made available for you. It will replace the quiz, like I said previously in a podcast. Which brings me to the issue of make sure that you are listening and watching all of my podcasts. These are important because I fill in the blanks and I tell you important things. I'm starting to get questions from students. Things like, when are you going to grade that? How come you haven't graded this assignment? I know it's late. Just a bunch of different questions. But the point is that I addressed a lot of those things in the last podcast. If you're not listening to that, you're missing these answers to the questions that you might have. So make sure that you listen and read everything that's listed on the week and in the announcements before you send me an email. Also keep in mind that on the syllabus, it clearly states that I don't answer emails that ask when I'm going to grade something or did I receive something or things like that. Okay? So everything is still on schedule. Remember in the last podcast what I said about your paper 1? Go back, listen to that. And then you just turned in 2 assignments last Sunday. They're usually not due back to you until Wednesday, Thursday at the latest. And it's only Tuesday, so patience. I know it seems like you haven't gotten anything in a while. That's because it's a different schedule for the papers. Okay, so back to week 6, lesson 6, assignment 6, all of the above. So make sure you're reading chapters 10 and 23. Now, you need to master argumentation. I know it seems outside the realm of what you're doing, but it's not. Your final paper will be an argumentative essay, and if you don't quite understand argumentation, this essay is not going to be what we need it to be. So make sure you understand the Toulmin method, the Rogerian method of argumentation. Okay, you need to know terms like claim, warrants. Okay, all of these terms are listed in chapter 10, and also there is a lesson that I gave you in week 4, 2 weeks ago, called Writing Arguments lesson. I've added it again in week 6 because it's very important, and there are some things that you need to know. Also, you need to understand about the rhetorical elements, ethos, pathos, logos, and also fallacies. Fallacies are all over the place. In my face-to-face hybrid class today, we had a discussion about fallacies, especially in the presidential elections that we have coming up, so that the Republicans are trying to decide who they are going to pick to run against Obama, and they have all of these ads and commercials out, and there's so many fallacies going on in these ads that it's so easy to pick out if you are aware of it. So make sure that you are reading the chapters and you understand argument, including the Toulmin model of argument. Okay, so I gave you another handout to help you with that as well. All right, so watch the videos that I provided, and then of course you're going to jump right in and start searching the databases for your periodical articles. Keep in mind that we're looking for a variety, so we don't want just magazines or newspapers. We want journal articles as well. And also keep in mind that you are only asked to find 4 for the assignment. I think it's 4. But keep track of more than that because you're going to need more research for your final paper. So you might as well do it now while you're digging around in the periodicals instead of just doing the minimum. Always do more if you can. Okay, so I think the assignment is pretty clear. If you have any questions about the assignment, obviously you can ask me, but I also want for you to get in the habit of using Ask-A-Librarian. They are available 24/7. See, unlike me, they're open at 3 a.m. if you need it. I haven't tested that theory, but that's what they advertise. But you can text them, you can send them emails, you can call them, and they will answer your questions about the research. So if you get stuck, I might recommend that you contact them. So you might want to do that first before you ask me. All right, so you're going to find the 4 citations. You only need the full text article of one of the citations. Make sure you follow the directions and look at the example assignment and submit the assignment just like the one that I've provided for you. Now, keep in mind that your research prospectus is not part of the assignment. It just happens after the assignment. So remember, the research prospectuses, as I've stated in the last podcast, are a way for you to communicate with me. It's not anything that you need feedback on. There are no rewrites on prospectuses. You either get full credit or you don't. It's your communication to me. I can either understand what you're saying, you're giving me the information that I asked for, boom, full credit, I know where you stand in this research process. Or you're slacking off and you're not giving me the information I need, you don't get full credit. So usually I don't grade these right away. I just read them. If I like what I see, I say great, this person's right on track. Okay, it's not until I start to finalize some grades for a module that I might go in and put in the points for that. So unless it's just horrible and you're not telling me enough information, you may not get any immediate feedback on those prospectuses. It's one-way communication, really. I just want to hear what you have to say. It's where you say to me, help, I need help, or this is going great, I'm doing fine. So that's what the next research prospectus is. Don't just copy and paste the same research prospectus that you gave me the last time. Things are different. I've asked for you to do different assignments. You're further along in the process. I want to hear how things are going at that point. Also, I do expect that your research question, your thesis will grow, will change. Okay, so don't say that it's one thing on day 1 and it continues to be the same thing all the way in. That's not realistic. That's not how this process works. Okay, so start working on your research prospectus 2. Let me know how it's going after week 6. And we will do this, I believe, every 2 to 3 weeks. So get used to it. So that's pretty much it for this week. We are finishing up research and we are going to dig into paper 2 next week. You will have your outlines back by then, and you'll be able to do a rewrite on those as you work on your final paper, or not final paper, your second part, or paper 2, which is the first part of your final paper. Okay, so if you have any questions, if you need any help, remember you can call or email or text me